What is really good today, everybody? Bry Guy here, and we are doing an oil change on my 2024 KTM 390 Duke. We're using Motul 15W50 5100 oil today. No particular reason, I just really like this oil. I was using the 7100 version for a while, but I did my last oil change with this, and I just noticed a little more longevity in the oil change, a little more smoothness in the engine throughout the life with this oil in there. So with that being said, let's go get it. Tools that we are going to need for our job today. We've got a pair of needle nose pliers, an 8mm wrench, a 13mm wrench, an 18mm wrench, a measuring cup, and a funnel. And here are the parts that we're going to use for this job today. We've got the mesh strainer, we've got the evacuation strainer, we've got the strainer cap with the O-ring, we've got our oil filter, and we've got our gasket, oil filter cover gasket. Now, these two screens, KTM says that you can wash them thoroughly and they only need to be replaced every third oil change, but mine are definitely due for a replacement, as is my cap. I just like to buy the whole assembly. That way everything's nice and neat and tidy, and I know I'm not going to have any leaks. This thing, I cannot stress enough how important it is to have a fresh one every time, and that you treat it with the utmost amount of respect and care. They are extremely fragile, these gaskets. They break very easily, and I learned the hard way that you do not want to put a broken one into your machine. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is remove our oil fill cap for physics reasons. I'm not going to go explaining that now. And when we remove our mesh strainer cap, we want our piece of cardboard here to guide the oil onto the oil pan. The kickstand gets in the way otherwise. We're going to remove our mesh strainer here with the needle nose pliers, and we are all set with step one. Step number two, we're going to move down to the evacuation screen and take this bolt out here with a 13mm wrench. Now be careful, the oil will be hot. You want to do this process with a preheated engine so that all your oil can drain out smoothly. Third step, we're moving on to the oil filter cap. We just want to remove these three bolts here with the 8mm wrench, and we will be set to go. Again, be very careful. All of these things that we're removing involve very hot oil getting onto your hand, so you want to make sure that you have a way of protecting your skin. You really don't want to go burning yourself during this process. Now that we got our oil filter out, we will give everything a nice wipe down to make sure that we are getting rid of any debris that may be left over in these little chambers here. And once everything is wiped down, we are good to go to start reverse engineering the process. But first we want to pre-lubricate our parts. Now, I don't know why I'm doing this. A mechanic told me to do it, so I am doing it. So basically we want to get all of these parts that we are putting into the bike pre-lubricated with some fresh oil. So you can see there, I put a little bit of fresh oil into the measuring cup, and then I just put them all up on these parts. We got our evacuation strainer in. Now we got the mesh strainer in, and a brand new cap with a brand new O-ring on there. Moving on to the oil filter, we got some more oil on there. Lube, lube, lube. And with the rubber gasket, remember to be absolutely careful with it. It is very fragile. You see that red circle? We want that facing in toward the bike. It's really self-explanatory, like circles and squares type of thing. We got our gasket on. Now we could pop our oil filter on. Just goes on like that. Then we pop the cover on and pop our three bolts back in there. Alright, everything is in. We just need to tighten everything up, but before that I like to give everything a nice wipe down just to make sure that my wrench is getting a true grip on these bolts. And everything is nice and tight now, secure, leak-proof, and ready to be full of oil. So we're going to measure out our 1.5 liters of oil. I just do 3 servings of 500 milliliters. In the oil goes, out the funnel comes, on the cap goes, and we are ready to roll. Here we go, start her up. What a beautiful sound. Now something I like to do is reset my trip meter every time I do an oil change. That way I know exactly how many miles I have on that current oil change. I'm ready to roll. Also testing out my new gimbal. Let's see if it follows me. It did not.